What's going on, guys? EK9 here, bringing you guys another video. So today we are going to talk about the award winners from last night, talk about the finalists, and talk about who actually won. But before that, I want to talk about last night's game. So if you guys didn't see, the Tampa Bay Lightning did even the series at 1 apiece after a 3-2 win over the Dallas Stars. The Lightning started the game off really hot. They looked almost unbeatable. They looked like a cup champion to me. They scored 3 goals in nearly 4 minutes. It was actually under 4 minutes, and took a commanding 3-0 lead early in the game. However, Dallas did claw their way back in the second and third, inching the game to, like I said, a 3-2 final. Dallas had played with a lot of resiliency. I spoke about this before the Stanley Cup Finals started. This team is a team that doesn't give up. They don't stop fighting. They claw their way back. They showed it against Vegas in that Game 5 when they nearly scored about 8 seconds into the third on a great chance from Ben Sagan, and Leonard made that big stop, and then Riley Smith comes down and snipes it on Khudobin and makes it 2-0. It looked like Vegas was going to take that game 5, force a Game 6. However, Dallas didn't give up. They kept playing, ended up winning that game 3-2 in overtime, and winning the series in a commanding 5 games. So this is going to probably be a lengthy series. I can't see it going anything less than 6 or 7. I could be wrong. Been wrong quite a bit in these playoffs, to be honest, but I definitely see this going a long series. They're both two strong teams, and they're both playing with a lot of heart out there. But one more thing I did want to mention was the giveaway is tomorrow. If you guys haven't entered the giveaway yet, I will post that video in the description. All you guys have to do to enter is leave a like, drop a comment, make sure you guys are a PS4 user. We can't do giveaways with Xbox because there isn't cross-platform yet. Not sure if it's going to be in the next generation. But if you are an Xbox user, don't feel excluded or anything. We do have more giveaways coming up, and when we do hit 500 subscribers, we will be doing a massive giveaway that does include Xbox. So don't feel excluded just because of that. Got some great content here, and the last requirement is to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We have a big giveaway at 400 subscribers, so make sure that you guys do sub. We're 21 away. But anyways, let's get back to the awards here. So the first award we're going to talk about is the Calder Memorial, which goes to the NHL's best rookie. The finalist for it for this season was Cale Makar of the Colorado Avalanche, Dominic Kubalik of the Chicago Blackhawks, as well as Quinn Hughes of the Vancouver Canucks. I kind of figured it was going to go between Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes. Kubalik did play very well in Chicago, but I don't think he had the impact of Makar and Hughes. Makar, I definitely thought was a favorite. He was unreal all season, but I kind of thought maybe there's a chance for Quinn Hughes only because of the team difference. Quinn Hughes plays on the Canucks, and don't get me wrong, the Canucks aren't terrible or anything, but they're not the status of the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche could have easily been in the Cup final if they were healthy. They didn't have the injuries to Landeskog. Francouz was injured, as well as Philip Grubauer. The team lost Eric Johnson. They had a lot of injuries go their way, and they easily could have been a Cup finalist if that wasn't the case. They ended up losing to the Dallas Stars. But aside from that, I definitely thought maybe it would go towards Quinn Hughes. I thought he had a bigger impact considering his team wasn't as solid. The same could be said about Kubalik, but these two defensemen are just unreal. If you guys have not watched Makar or Hughes, I'd recommend watching them. They play with such great agility, speed, acceleration, hockey IQ, passing. Like, these guys are the real deals. They can shoot. They played unreal throughout the season. And the winner actually was Cale Makar. I figured it was going to go between the two. I thought Makar definitely was the favorite, but I thought there might have been a possibility with Hughes considering the team difference. Next up, we do have the Hart Memorial Trophy, and it's awarded to the player deemed most valuable to their team. So like an MVP, but not entirely, because it is awarded to whoever contributes the most to their team or most valuable to their team. It was between Leon Draisaitl, Nathan McKinnon, and Artemi Panarin. I definitely thought Draisaitl was the favorite. He led the league in points. He had a really good year. There's not much to say about the Oilers. They basically are a two-headed dragon with McDavid and Draisaitl, and the rest of the team just kind of rides on their coattails. The Oilers lack a lot of depth. We definitely saw that in the series against Chicago, but Draisaitl definitely a clear favorite. Definitely could have seen maybe Nathan MacKinnon win the award if they did include playoffs. I thought MacKinnon showed that he's probably one of the best players on the planet during that playoffs. He was unreal. The guy was a complete beast. He made plays happen that no one thought were possible. And then there's Artemi Panarin. Panarin, I would have picked Panarin if it was up to me. You guys can debate me all you want, but Panarin led a struggling Rangers team who are clearly in the midst of a rebuild and completely took that team, him and Mika Zibanejad, and said, you know what, we're going to try and make the playoffs here, and that's what they did. Panarin played an unreal season playing in New York, and I thought he definitely was the most valuable to his team. I guess the same could be said about Draisaitl, but I know the impact of McDavid there too kind of takes away from that, and they kind of feed each other perfectly. But I thought for sure the Rangers were kind of a miracle story to even make the playoffs this season, and I thought that Panarin definitely played a crucial factor into that. So you guys can debate me all you want, but I understand why Draisaitl was the clear winner. I just would have went with Panarin, and that's just not out of bias or anything. The next winner of the awards was the James Norris Memorial, which is awarded to the league's top defenseman. I'd like to argue this award because I don't really think it's to the best defenseman. I watched it the last 5 years, 6 years, all the awards, and they should label it the league's best offensive defenseman. A lot of these guys that do win, Brent Burns, Erik Karlsson, guys like that, they're not the best two-way defensemen. They're very one-dimensional. As a Shark fan, watching both Burns and Karlsson, I can attest to the fact that they are not the best defensively, and the title top defenseman literally has the word defense right in it. I don't think that this award actually should, it doesn't really go to the best defenseman as it does to the top offensive defenseman. And I think that they should really look at that. I mean, don't get me wrong, when a defenseman puts up nearly like 60 points in 80 games, they're almost a point a game as a defenseman. It's really hard not to give them an award, but when they're doing jack in their defensive end, kind of takes away from the whole premise of being the best defenseman. That's just my own opinion. You guys can argue with me all you want. And the three finalists were John Carlson of the Washington Capitals, Victor Hedman of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and Roman Josi of the Nashville Predators. The winner did go to Roman Josi, and I will admit I was very shocked on this. I thought John Carlson was going to win by far. John Carlson led the NHL, was leading the defenseman in points nearly all season. Josi did catch up to him, but Carlson played on a whole other level than I've ever seen John Carlson play, and this was after the Capitals already won a cup. So I think John Carlson got snubbed on this one. I would have went John Carlson all the way. I don't even think it was close. Josi did play pretty good. The Predators, though, however, they didn't do so well in the playoffs. I know playoffs don't count towards anything, but I definitely think that Josi didn't match up as much as I think to Carlson. But maybe it's just a little bit of bias. But I definitely thought John Carlson should have been the winner. If you guys disagree with me, let me know. Let me know why. I just think that Carlson's 200-foot game was a lot more superior than that of Roman Josi's. And I don't look at it right now. I'm basing it on the points. But John Carlson did play pretty well defensively and was a huge catalyst for the Capitals, actually for the last few seasons, being their top defenseman. So that's just my own opinion. It was pretty. There were some good awards here, but the next one was the Ted Lindsay, which is actually known as the Lester B. Pearson Award. They changed it, and it's a different type of award, and it's actually based on a player deemed most valuable to their team, and it's voted by the NHL Players Association. And Draisaitl won this, surprise, surprise, again. It was between Draisaitl, MacKinnon, and Panarin. Same guys, again. This time voted by a different committee, and Draisaitl did take that as well. I'm not going to get further into that, but we've already basically discussed it. And the last award of the night was the Vezina Trophy. And this went between Connor Hellebuyck, Tuukka Rask, and Andrei Vasilevsky. So there was some good conversation about this, and Connor Hellebuyck did win. I gotta say, personally, Connor Hellebuyck was a great choice. Uh, you know what? With the with the defensive situation in both Tampa and Boston, any goalie, well, I shouldn't say any goalie, but most goalies will definitely have a decent save percentage. So for the fact that Vasilevsky and Rask played unreal in both defensive environments isn't a surprise. But Hellebuyck playing on a team who lost Jacob Trouba last season, they lost Tyler Myers, they lost quite a few to Dustin Byfuglien, and playing in a whole different environment, coming up with 6 shutouts this season. Hellebuyck played unreal, carrying the Jets to the playoffs. Fortunately, they did lose to Calgary in the play-in round, but I wasn't very I was I wasn't surprised that he won because the team difference. Playing on a team like Tampa or Boston, playing in a team like Winnipeg who just lost 3 of their best defensemen, it's definitely understandable why people would gravitate more towards a guy like Hellebuyck. I definitely was surprised that a goalie like Elvis Merzlikins wasn't considered for it. I'm not sure if he didn't meet the minimum games or whatnot, but he helped carry Columbus to those playoffs nearly single-handedly. The guy put on a clinic. But out of the 3 finalists, I was definitely not surprised. Hellebuyck did win it, and for good reason, I think. I think he definitely deserves it. He's playing in that kind of environment where the defense isn't that good. I mean, they've got a struggling defensive core. They're almost like the Leafs in that sense. But for him to stand on his head all season and carry that team to a playoff spot after losing all those defensemen, definitely deserves the award in my opinion. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you guys think that I'm wrong? Where do you disagree with me? Do you agree with what I said? Anything like that. Let's have some good discussion. And as I said about the giveaway, I will post a video in the description. And we're very close to 400 subscribers, so make sure to sub, guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, so we can get to that 400 sub giveaway. We've been talking about it for a month and change now, so I definitely want to get there soon. But if you enjoyed, leave a like, drop a comment, and if you haven't hit that sub button, guys. Alright, see you guys soon.